A child's promise to Allah. Hana was a bright and cheerful 7-year-old girl who lived with her parents and grandmother in a quiet neighborhood, whom she affectionately called Nani. She had big, curious eyes, a colorful scarf on her head, and a heart that was always ready to help others. She loved to paint, reading stories before bedtime, and go to the mosque with her family, especially if there was ice cream afterwards. But there was one small thing Hana struggled with: her prayers. Although she had learned to pray and knew it was important, she sometimes forgot. Sometimes she was so occupied in her game, and sometimes she was too tired after school. Her parents gently reminded her, but Hana often said, "I'll pray later," and then didn't. One evening after dinner, Nani called Hana into her cozy room full of books and the gentle scent of jasmine tea. "Come here, my sweet butterfly," she said. Hana jumped onto the bed and snuggled up next to her. "Would you like to hear a story about a pious man tonight?" asked Nani. Yes, please," Hana chirped. Nani began. Once, a pious man made a promise to a little boy. The child had asked for something, and the pious man said, "Come back to me later, and I will give it to you." Do you know what happened next? Hana shook her head. Although the pious man was busy, he waited. When the boy returned, he gave him what he had promised. He never broke a promise, not even a small one, to a child. Hana's eyes lit up. Do you know why? Nani continued quietly. Because in Islam, it is important to keep one's word, and the most important promise is the one you make to Allah. Hana looked down for a moment, her heart racing. Nani, I also want to make a promise to Allah. Nani smiled warmly. What do you want to promise? I want to promise that I will always try to pray on time. I will never miss a prayer again. Nani hugged her tightly and said, That's a beautiful promise, Hana. Allah loves it when His servants strive sincerely. When she went to bed that night, after Hana had made her dua, she whispered into her palms, Ya Allah, please help me keep my promise. I really, really want to be good. The next morning, things didn't go as planned. Her alarm didn't ring, her school clothes were wrinkled, and she had forgotten to finish a drawing assignment for class. She ran around the house half-dressed, trying to eat cereal and paint at the same time. But just as she was about to go to school, her father called out, Hana, it's time for morning prayer. Oh no, she panicked. I almost forgot. She dropped her cereal spoon, washed quickly, and stood next to her father to pray. She was still wearing her pajama top and had her hair half-combed, but she was proud. She had remembered her promise. At school, she told her best friend, Sarah, I promised Allah I would perform all my prayers on time, giggled Sarah. Even if you watch cartoons? Hana blushed. Yes, even then. Later that day, her teacher gave a surprise quiz. Hana was unprepared and nervous. She uttered a silent dua in her heart. Ya Allah, help me to do my best. Somehow, the questions came easier to her, and Hana wrote confidently. When the final bell rang, she was excited to go home. But just before she left, her friend mentioned that there would be a brand new episode of her favorite show at 7 p.m. That evening, she sat on the couch with her eyes wide open and popcorn in her hand, ready for the show. But just as the opening music began, her mother called out, Hana, it's Maghrib time. Her heart sank. She desperately wanted to see the show. Just a few more minutes. Then she remembered her dua from last night. Please help me keep my promise. She put the popcorn away, turned off the TV, and whispered to herself, a promise is a promise. After praying with her mother, she returned to the couch with a calm heart. Even though she had missed the first half of the episode, her mother kissed her on the forehead and said, I am so proud of you. In the next few days, further challenges arose. One evening, she was at her cousin's birthday party. When it was time for the Asar prayer, the other children were playing hide and seek, and Hana hesitated. What would they think if she went to pray? But she asked her aunt quietly, Can I please have a place to pray? The aunt smiled and led her into a quiet room. Later, one of her cousins asked, "Why did you stop playing to pray?" Hana replied quietly, "I made a promise to Allah, and I want to keep it." The cousin nodded thoughtfully. "I think I'll start with that too." A week later, on Friday, Hana stood next to her parents in the mosque. She was proud. She had prayed every prayer on time that week, no matter what. Even if it was difficult, even if it was uncomfortable. After Jummah, Nani gave her a small notebook with a beautiful golden crescent moon on the cover. "This is your promise journal," she said. "Every time you keep your promise to Allah, write down how you felt about it." Hana opened the first page and wrote in her shaky handwriting, "I performed all my prayers on time. It felt like Allah was smiling at me." From that day on, Hana was known among her friends as the girl who always stopped to pray. Whether in the park, at school, or at a friend's house, her sincerity inspired others, and slowly her little promise began to make big waves. One evening, after praying the Isha prayer, she looked up at the sky through her bedroom window. The stars sparkled brightly. She smiled and whispered, "Thank you, Allah, for helping me. I still make mistakes, but I will always try." And somewhere in the silent night, it felt as if her promise had reached heaven, carried by the wings of her effort and the purity of her heart. Moral of the story: no matter how small we are, no matter how many mistakes we make, if we make a sincere promise to Allah and really do our best to fulfill it, He helps us in ways we don't even see. Even the smallest heart can shine brightest when it remembers Allah.